week in news, Hellena Taylor tattled on herself, Silent Hill's news barrage, and Xbox has a record quarter. Extra, hear all about it.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast that ages like a fine milk. I'm the Dean of Games, the Dean Slater if you're on Twitter or Twitch, and joining me is twitch.tv/LMJ the Hitman, aka Landen.
Oh, that's me. What's going on?
I wanted to do the Greg Miller aka for once.
AKA the Hitman.
Yeah.
AKA Trophy Platinum Master.
Oh yeah. Well, we know of people that have much more platinums than you. Have you gotten on the Platy Bird train yet?
I just forget anybody who has more than me. Doesn't count.
Have you gotten the Platy Bird thing yet?
No, I've not done any of those. I think the cheapest trophies that I go for, platinums that I go for, is the Telltale games or Telltale games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about as far as I go for platinums.
So, Gavin, Platy Bird, and there's several games like it, are like $2 in the store and take 3 minutes to platinum. Like, they were specifically made for you to get easy platinums. I will say, on Game Pass, they have a bunch of Paw Patrol games on Game Pass, and I'm sure those would be pretty easy and fast to get all the achievements in. I'm like, do I really want to do that? I don't know. And speaking of Gavin, he's from Twitch's Graveyard.
Yeah.
What? I had to add you.
No, absolutely.
What?
This is Extra, your weekly gaming news podcast covering the news leading up to Sunday, October 30th, 2022. And if you like us, you can go to patreon.com/thebriefingroom. Let's get to some news, and we'll start off with a bad story, as we usually do when there's a bad story, just so we can have some palate-cleansing good stories, you know? There's more stuff on Hellena Taylor. If you remember from last week, I'll recap everything. She was the voice actress that played Bayonetta in the first two games. Earlier, she had claimed that she was made a final offer of $4,000 to play Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3, which she called insulting. And this part I did not have in the story, but despite her saying not to harass the new VA, she added that the new VA isn't Bayonetta, so she shouldn't be able to sign or promote Bayonetta merch. Reporters started digging around and reported that she was actually making $3,000 to $4,000 per session, adding up to around $15,000. But she wanted residuals, with Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reporting that she was also asking, she was asking for a vague six-figure sum. So they just said, hey, she wanted 6 figures plus the residuals. I did not have that in the story because it was only Bloomberg at the time, but it will play a part. Just remember, no official number was made, so just remember that. So, our episode went up on Sunday. She posted on Monday, so immediately making our story, our podcast, irrelevant. But because of course she did. She wrote, as I posted on part 3 of my 3-part video thread, I explained that the first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000 total. Remember, she initially said that she was only offered $4,000. That offer was $10,000 total. Remember, this is a $450 million franchise, not counting merchandise. Then I wrote to Hideki Kamiya asking what I was worth. I thought that as a creative, he would understand. He replied saying how much he valued my contribution to the game and how much fans wanted me to voice the game. I was then offered an extra $5,000. So
Dude, I would have been savage with it. It was like, how much am I worth? Not shit, bitch.
So I decided to decline to voice the game. Any other lies, such as $4,000 for 5 sessions, or total fabrications, there were not excessive negotiations. I've also been informed of ridiculous fictions, such as I asked for $250,000. I am a team player. I was just asking for a fair living wage with the value that I bring to the game. She seemingly confirmed that the $4,000 flat rate was for other roles, which actually would have brought her total to $19,000. She did not, in her post, mention the residuals that were being reported on. All right. So I have some thoughts, but I'll let you guys get to it first.
Well, I personally think Bayonetta is a big franchise. I'm thinking this just ended in the wrong way that she wanted it to happen, as in, like, maybe the amount of money they did offer was a decent amount for most people, and she just felt like she was part of a bigger franchise. Like, I don't know, who knows how much of a gamer she actually is, but like you see people like Master Chief and you know, other notable voice actors, and she maybe felt like that was her as well, and that money was just not worth it. I don't know, you built up a repertoire for a certain character, you feel more entitled to the amount of money that character makes, which is a lot. And Bayonetta 3 just got its review. It's like 9 out of 10 from IGN. So it's a good game. She's part of a good franchise. They've all been reviewed very well. She knows that. I'm sure. So I feel like Bayonetta's a big franchise, deserves big money. I'm still on her side.
What about you, Gavin?
I'm gonna be honest. I had to stop listening halfway through because I got the hiccups. I've been trying to get rid of them.
This is gonna be really goofy, maybe funny for you guys. A way to help you get rid of hiccups, because the human race is so fucking old, and we used to be tadpoles through evolution. We used to have gills, and that's where hiccups come from. So you're supposed to be letting loose that extra air pockets through your gills that we no longer have. So if you tell yourself that you are not a fish out loud, they'll go away.
I am not a fish. Hold on. No fucking shot that
I
works.
swear to God, it works.
No fucking shot.
God, it works, my man.
Hold on. What the fuck?
Science, bitch.
No, dude, it's like every time I took a drink or took a hit off my cigarette, I would hiccup. I'm like, God damn it! And then I do that, and it stops. What the fuck, Landon? No way.
Yeah, I did that to somebody at work that kept hiccuping, and they looked at me like I was stupid. I was like, just try it, and they did, just to, you know, for shits and giggles, and then they stopped hiccuping. I don't believe you. I just think it stopped.
Dude, that's wild. No, because I've been having this problem all fucking day. Where I would take a hit off a cigarette and I would get the hiccups. I couldn't stop, and like now it stopped.
When I was taking him all the way home from work, yeah, he was hiccuping.
That's hilarious.
That's so stupid.
So stupid.
I don't know if you just made that up and you got lucky. I don't fucking know, but that's, oh my god.
It's worked 3 times now, and including on myself.
So,
Weird.
that is very weird. Getting back on the story, just a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's useful information for our viewers. Viewers, try it at home. Let us know what your results are. So I have never been a part of voice acting. So I can't speak to how much they are worth. But here's the thing. In her initial video, she said it was a flat rate of 4,000. Now she's saying no, it was actually like 19,000. Also, let's not forget when Bloomberg reported, they reported it was a 6-figure sum. They did not name any. No one named specific dollar amount. She's the one that said $250,000. The only way she, could have gotten that number is if that's what she actually asked for. I'm not saying that voice actors in general are lying. Not at all, because I do think that they are very much underpaid in general. But I think she was asking for a whole lot. Also, she mentioned Bayonetta being a $450 million franchise. Not counting merchandise, is what she said. We can actually track that. We can track the physical sales. I don't think that they made $445 million in digital sales.
No.
So I think she's off a little bit with the how much the franchise is worth. Not that it's a cheap
especially
franchise
one of those games is on the Wii U exclusively.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that didn't sell. The most it could have sold is 14 million copies, and let's not come on. No. It
No.
didn't. It didn't.
Yeah. So she's definitely overvaluing the franchise in general. That being said, I'm
I'd like to.
I'm
Go ahead.
you
sorry.
can go ahead.
I'd like to add a little extra. I mean, Bayonetta is now an exclusive Nintendo property, and if you look at any other Nintendo exclusive property, it's fucking
Big.
huge. It's
Yeah.
ginormous. It's ridiculous big, and she could see that. I don't know. She's a voice actor. She probably knows that her character's not going away anytime soon. She's also in
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, one of the most biggest fighting games in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still on her side, man. I'm still on her side.
I can see, and I'm on voice actors' sides in general. I personally think she's overstepped in this case, just based on her own, her newest post. But I do still think maybe they should get some residuals. Because, like you said, when a franchise does blow up, then, whatever they were offered is no longer what that role is worth. So
Right.
if you have the residuals, then you just constantly get that, get paid for doing that, regardless of whether it did well or not. And that's a little bit more job security. So I do think that they should just get residuals in general. Shut up, TikTok. Maybe she should just go silent and move into the hills for a little bit.
Yeah, go dark.
So we got, this is a little bit of an older story. Heads up for the audience. We're trying a new recording schedule, and not a lot of new stories happened between when we last recorded and now. So I apologize that you're getting some older news as well. But this is also something Gavin wanted to talk about. So we got a ton of Silent Hill news. First things first, let's talk about the Silent Hill 2 remake. It's being developed by Bloober Team, who did Layers of Fear, Blair Witch, and The Medium. It is PS5 and PC, with the original creators closely involved. They said that they're going to maintain what people loved about the original while adding new elements to make it more immersive. Sorry, Microsoft Word changed some of my typing, so now it just doesn't make any sense to me. Uh, they are rebuilding the combat systems, set pieces, and cutscenes with motion capture. They are using Unreal 5 with the Unreal 5, sub-programs Lumen, which is for lighting, and Nanite, which I don't know what that is, but I would assume that's texture, to give the game the atmosphere that people loved about the original. They also announced Return to Silent Hill, which is the sequel to the movie from 2006. Directed.
Can't believe that's happening.
Oh, I know. Directed by the director of the first film in 2006 and is targeting a 2023 release. You know what I found out today? I mentioned I did the whole reference to Kinda Funny anyway earlier. You know what I found out through Kinda Funny?
What's that?
Black Adam was announced in 2011 or some shit. It was announced forever ago. Yeah, the Games Daily that came out. Tim brought it up to Blessing, and Blessing had the same reaction. He's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, he was cast as Black Adam years and years and years ago, and that movie just came out.
Dang.
The Rock still had hair when.
Oh no!
When it was announced.
He probably would have fit the Black Adam role a little bit better if he still had hair.
That's just a side note. Just this gap of Silent Hill reminded me of that gap that I learned about earlier today. Silent Hill Ascension is an interactive streaming series where the audience shapes the canon. That is coming out in July of 2023. Silent Hill F, which is set in 1960s Japan, written by someone who is famous for Japanese horror. I did not have the name, just that he was famous for some Japanese horror. Then they announced Silent Hill Townfall, developed by No Code, which is the developer who made Untold and Observation. I have not heard of those games, but they were notable enough to be included in the story, so I added them. And it's being published by Annapurna. So that's
pretty dope. I'm actually, the 1960s one sounds really cool. The
Oh,
movie sounds cool. And the remake, I have very little memories of. So, but I will play it. I do like me a good spooky.
So, I don't know if there is a canon ending to Silent Hill 2, but for me, the canon ending will always be the dog ending. I don't know if you've...
don't remember that game enough.
Yeah, just in YouTube at some point, type in Silent Hill 2 dog ending, and it is something. Gavin, I'm sure, based on your laughing, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I pretty messed up clips of that game, though.
Here's the thing, a lot of people are they're Resident Evil kids or fucking something else. I can't think of anything else. A lot of people are regularly Resident Evil. I don't see a whole lot of Silent Hill kids around. But I was a Silent Hill kid growing up, and we didn't get a whole lot after a certain time.
Yeah.
I think the last thing we got was PT, but I don't even count that because that was just whatever. But so the last real thing we got was Silent Hill Homecoming, which was an alright game, I guess. But I played Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill Homecoming, and Silent Hill Downpour, and Downpour was a really good one too. And then I've watched the first movie. I've watched the second movie. And the fact that that's getting a sequel too is it's phenomenal. I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, it's good to see the franchise have a resurgence.
Yeah, not even a small resurgence, a lot of shit. Just so much stuff.
All at once, yeah. Happened out of nowhere, I feel like. And then also, Konami coming back, trying to make some games again, announcing two video game projects is pretty big, and I'd like to see, what else they got up their sleeve. What else you trying to put on a release? You got another Metal Gear up there. You gotta, you're gonna start making some more games. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited that they're finally doing something. Konami's finally doing something with their franchises. And I know Silent Hill fans have been begging for just stuff for a long, long time. My one worry is how obsessed and talkative Konami has been about NFTs in games.
True.
They've been very, very pro NFT, and I don't know that I can be pro NFT with all the shit going down with NFTs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those either.
Yeah. NFTs need to go down, but Xbox's hardware sales are going up.
Whoa.
So, Xbox published, on Tuesday, published their numbers for the fiscal quarter that ended on September 30th. Their hardware revenue grew 13%. It's the highest. It's the highest their hardware revenue has ever been, and I mean, I'll get to that, I guess, when I start talking about the story. Gaming revenue grew 4%. And while content and services revenue declined 3%, that's less to do with Game Pass, which is continuing to grow, and more to do with the decline in first and third party content, which is having less engagement because it's older, as games do. So what do you guys think about all this?
I think I don't know. I think the main thing is they've been really, really, really good at keeping consoles on shelves when other competitors cannot. And I don't know, man. I think we're kind of seeing like the switch, not necessarily the tide switching from PlayStation to Xbox, but more like it's more of like a turning into a 50-50 ordeal with this next gen stuff, because there's just I feel like what keeps people on PlayStation are the fanboys and the exclusives, and then what keeps people or gets people switching to Xbox is your bang for your buck, man. You can buy a $300 console, or you could buy a $500 console. You could have a brand new Samsung TV of this year and be playing Xbox games on your TV. It's installed on the TV. You can be playing Xbox games on your phone. Like, it's just, if you wanted to play on your console and then switch to your phone and then switch to your TV or someone else's TV and pick up where you left off of your game, it's just that's not offered anywhere else. That is not offered anywhere else, and that is the future. And competitors have got a lot to keep up with. I do think that Xbox has just done a better marketing deal in the last 2-3 years, probably 4 years actually, and it's starting to pay off.
Yeah, I remember when Sony offered that kind of thing with the Vita, and it didn't quite work as planned, where you could just pick up your content and...
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah, they tried. Yeah. They made an effort. They were just a few years too early.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But Gavin, how do you feel about this?
Just excited, bro.
Are you team Xbox or PlayStation, Gavin? Well, okay, how about this? I'll ask you a better question. Do you prefer bang for your buck, or do you prefer I don't know how to put it the PlayStation side. Like would you prefer the
quadruple A?
Yeah, quadruple A premium exclusives.
Bang for your buck. I don't play a whole lot of quadruple A bullshit. I really don't care. Like, if a game's like, I rarely play AAA games anymore.
I'm a bougie boy. I like them AAA games.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember back when all of these things were announced, which was around the time you and me, Landon, started talking about doing a podcast together. I remember when they were announcing consoles, we're like, yeah, we need to do it like a podcast. And it took 2 years to finally do that. But I remember when they announced him, I was talking to friends of the show, Dylan and Cole, about, it. And I was like, man, honestly, I think that, I still think Sony's gonna, quote, win. I don't like using that term because I don't like the whole putting everyone against each other, but I still think Sony's gonna have more numbers, but I don't think Xbox is gonna be as far behind as a lot of people are saying right now. And we've seen it, like you said, the Xbox Series S, despite stories that we've been hearing that developers don't like developing for the S has stayed on shelves and has just been selling. Like, because it's lesser hardware, it hasn't gotten the delays in shipping that the Series X and the PS5 have. So people have been like, well, this is the next gen, so we'll buy it. And they've just been making that money on, cheaper console, but they've been making money on it. And with Game Pass, like in backwards compatibility, you can put, even if you like had the original Xbox but didn't have anything else, you can put in your Xbox game, and not only can the Series S and X play it, they actually will natively increase the quality of the game visually and with like frame rates and stuff. Like, they have boosts and stuff on a bunch of backwards compatible games. It is crazy what they are doing for the customer right now. Now, again, that's Phil Spencer. Who knows if they'll still be that nice to the customer when when Phil leaves? But right now, they are very customer friendly for sure.
Speaking of customer friendly, like PlayStation announces that new Pro controller looks dope.
Mhm.
It's $200, and then the same day they announce it, Microsoft is like, "Oh, here's our Pro controller that we've already announced, but now you can completely customize it, and it's only $150."
Yeah.
So, like, again, bang for your buck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's $50 cheaper, and you can choose the colors. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can get your gamer tag put in there. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, PlayStation controller looks dope, and I think it might be in the long run, like as far as tech wise, I think the PlayStation controller will be better primarily because you swap out the drifting thumbsticks. Like, the drift is a problem, and they have a fix for it. That's why I want it, because I constantly have drift in my controllers, whether it be an Xbox controller, Nintendo controller, or PlayStation controller. If I have to drop $200, so it's the last controller I buy for years, I'm down for it.
All right, this story.
Stick drift problem too, but I know why my stick drift problem happens is because whenever I have to click the sticks like a button or whatever, I do it way too hard.
I play Call of Duty, so I'm sprinting nonstop.
Yeah, pretty much.
I use that analog stick like crazy.
Yeah, especially if I'm real focused in on something, like I will just slam the fucking sticks from side to side without any thought of it's probably damaging my controller. Just fucking.
So, this next story, we're a little short, so I'm adding a story. This next story hurts me, and I'm sure it's going to hurt you too.
Uh-oh.
The headline: People who strongly identify as gamers more prone to racism and sexism. This is a new study. This is from a new study that has been conducted, where they found that people who identify themselves as gamers are more likely to have extreme behavior, such as racism and misogyny.
Excuse you, it's gamer, not gamer.
Gamer.
You don't use hard R?
Oh, okay, okay. Oh man,
right.
I can see that. I definitely see that. I think
Yeah.
I
Oh,
look
yeah.
back at the younger version of myself who called himself a gamer, and I
Mhm.
was hardcore. I was hardcore Xbox, and if you didn't play Xbox,
Oh.
you're a piece of shit. Like obviously Xbox is
Mhm.
the better version. I was that kid. Now I'm PlayStation kid.
Yeah.
I'm PlayStation kid, but I respect the Xbox and I play the Xbox. So
Yeah.
I kind of dropped the gamer tone, I guess, or the word as I got older
Mhm.
because I like and gamers are people who play games on phone. Like you could be a gamer and play anything. Like if you play video games and you put passion into the video game you're playing, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your computer, be on your Xbox, your Vita, your Switch, doesn't fucking matter. Your Game Boy Advance, you are a gamer. Adults, young kids, old
Mhm.
people, moms, dads, like everybody, like children, they're all gamers. If you play
Yeah.
games and you put passion into the thing you like, you're a gamer. But the people that say they're a gamer and passionately talk about it, those
Mhm.
are the kids you're talking about where you join in a Call of Duty lobby and you're like, hey guys, and they're immediately saying racist remarks just from
Old,
saying
Mhm.
hey.
old school Call of Duty lobbies, man.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's why party chat's the way to
So,
go.
yeah, I've mentioned before on this podcast, my wife plays a lot of social deception games, like Among Us, like First Class Trouble. There's a few of them that she plays. Uh, she's gone into lobbies before and said hi, and they're like, "Oh, are you a girl?" And she's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, we don't allow girls to play with us. We want people that are good," and kicked her out of the lobby.
Oh my god.
Um, I stopped identifying as a gamer after Gamergate, in 2014. I don't know if either of you remember that.
I do not. What's that?
It was when, man, the community was going after any female gaming journalist. Like
Oh.
it was bad. It was real bad.
Oh.
I after that I stopped identifying as a gamer, and I was like, listen, I like games, but I don't like games enough to be treating people like this. And that was 2014. I was still a piece of shit. I used to be a piece of shit human being, and even I was like, this is a step too far. I can't. I can't go where you guys are heading.
I cannot follow.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, no, like, and you hear it all the time. Like, there's clips that'll, make their rounds on social media where, like, the the N word will just be thrown around with the hard, like he mentioned, the hard R sound at the end. Like, it's like, man, I sorry, homie, I can't be supporting you saying stuff like this. I'm leaving.
Especially like women have it so bad because I
Oh
play Call of
yeah.
Duty with a few females and women, I don't know if females is derogatory, so women, uh, with women, and it's like almost every lobby we go to, as soon as they talk, it's either they're a child or they're somebody they want to sexually assault for some reason.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just every lobby, and it sucks because that's your friend, and you have to either go hardcore in defending them or just let it slide and let them get talked to like that. And it's awkward and awful, and I I just I wish there was more response. Like people had
Yeah.
more, they could be held more accountable. Like if there was a way to, hey, you say stuff like this, and enough people report you for saying stuff like this, you don't get to play games. Like that's taken
Yeah.
away from. That should be able to be taken away from you.
Yeah. Uh yeah, I agree. It should be taken away. And there's some companies that have started implementing perma bans and stuff
Yeah.
to behavior like that. Yeah, no, and the other thing is you do defend them, and then you're called a simp, and it's like, nah, there's a difference between a simp and standing up for someone that's being talked down to in this way. Like, there's a big difference.
I remember there was
Oh.
one time in a Discord server I was in with a bunch of friends, where this dude that was friends with the owner of the server, who was a friend of mine, he like I guess had a thing for her and got mad because uh talking about how like he didn't want to be in a fucking Discord full of a bunch of simps for her and shit.
Mhm.
And like the thing was, we weren't even simping; we were just treating her like a decent human being. like,
Mhm.
and like this is somebody that like had a thing for her and she had a thing for him and all this shit, but like he treated her like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
And he was like, I don't want to fucking see all these people simping over you all the time. It's like we're just treating her like a person.
Yeah.
Oh.
You want us to treat her like shit? Damn. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
By the
I,
way, like this is the same person that I ended up having a thing with, so I guess like not entirely wrong.
Oh, well, don't be
Hey.
a piece of shit, and then maybe that
It
won't
wasn't.
happen.
It wasn't
Not
intentional.
you, him.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't worry. I already did my piece of shit thing and ruined that.
Yeah, but that was in relationship and not being, a terrible human being. That was just,
That
relationships.
was a mental breakdown sort of situation, and then
Yeah.
he messaged me and got caught in the crossfire,
Yeah.
Oof.
which was not good for anybody.
No. So.
She goes, yeah, she's like, yeah, that I'm not cool with that. I'm like, understandable. That's 100% understandable. Not gonna blame you for that.
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mentioned it last week, but I'll say it again. If you're the kind of people spouting this bullshit about women and people that, aren't as privileged as we are, I want you to look in the mirror. All right? I want you to look in the mirror, and
Tell
if
yourself
that's
you're not a fish.
tell yourself you're not a fish, and after you do that, be like, is this the kind of person I want to be? And if your answer is yes, then you can go jump down in that well that Landen and Gavin fell in, and we'll just, cover it with concrete and leave you in there. Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again.
I mean, that's exactly what I do. Is like, when that happened, I'd like just stare at myself and be like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?"
Yeah, I know a lot of people like have their issues with it, but if I see something online that I don't like a post or something that I don't like, I don't even bother looking into them, any further. I'm just like, all right, block. I don't need this toxicity.
Right.
Only positive vibes,
I only want PVs.
Yeah, PVs. PVEs. Maybe PvP sometimes, depending on the game.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. I liked that conversation. What do you guys? Did you
That
guys
was
like
a
that?
Good conversation.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just had the most beautiful shot in Rocket League ever, and my fucking teammate fucked it for me.
if you like that, his teammate fucked it for him, or if you didn't like it, make sure to do all the things. Make sure to do all the things like hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting the bell on youtube.com/the XofPlays. Or you could give it on a high rating on whatever podcast service you use. We're not to the point that we're gonna do a Markiplier thing, but just know I'm not past it. I will.
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh,
straight up.
yeah,
What is
absolutely.
it?
Although it's not going to charity. It's going straight.
So, Markiplier announced that he would do an OnlyFans with tasteful nudes.
I saw that. Yes. Yes, I saw about that. Yeah, I watched the video.
Yeah, I'm not past doing that. So,
he's kind of a smart man for that, because if you do everything that he says, he's going to be like #1 on all these different charts, just so someone could. Even if you don't want to see him naked, you just think it would be funny that if he made naked photos, like, it's a smart move for him. He's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make a lot of money from that.
I mean, he made a lot of money from his nude calendar that he released a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's all that money went to charity, and all the money from the OnlyFans is going to go to charity. I saw
Nice.
I saw someone post, because the way he did it, he is like he was trying to cause chaos in the world. Because he's like, if you don't want to see this, do everything you can to sabotage the people that do want to see it. And someone posted his villain arc. He's so wholesome, even his villain arc, he donates to charity.
Like I said, it's his anti-hero arc, not his villain arc.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. I brought it up before, but on patreon.com, you can financially support the show and get cool rewards from us as well. That's all from us. Take care.